Hi again, Seahawks insiders, Dave Boling, Gregg Bell in the desert in Glendale, Arizona. Where do we begin on this? 6-6 tie, the first tie in Seahawks history, the lowest scoring game in regulation Seahawks history that ended 3-3 after regulation. Missed field goals. You guys all saw, and gals all saw what happens. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I saw in the locker room and after the game that you didn't see that was remarkable. One is the reminder of what these games take tolls on NFL players' bodies. Richard Sherman couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he seemed to be shaking and he obviously dehydrated. Bobby Wagner, the linebacker, who also played 90 snaps, second most in team history.
14 or 15 tackles.
14 tackles. He was helping Sherman across the locker room while Wagner himself was limping. IVs, it was a scene of a MASH scene in the locker room after the game. Stephen Hauschka, you all probably are hating him right now. I want you to know I've covered a lot of athletes in my time. He stood there for 4 different waves of media answering the same question: why did you miss the kick at the end of overtime? The same question. He stood there politely, answered it calmly. He said, I think I let my team down. And he did that for about 25 minutes at his locker when he could have left. He could have gone onto the bus like a lot of players in a lot of sports I cover would have done. The fact is they didn't lose, they didn't win, and they're a game and a half still up in the division, and a game nobody will forget in a long time.
I have covered, I was trying to figure it out, I probably personally staffed about 400 Seahawks games.
A few more than mine.
And this is really way up there for the strangest ones I've ever seen. Both teams, neither defense deserved to lose the game and neither offense deserved to win. It was a remarkable effort by 2 terrific defenses playing their guts out. I mean, it was really inspiring to watch. I found from a competitive standpoint, this was as good as it gets. And I think if there is a winner out of this, it might be the NFC West and the fans of both teams who now really have some equity in this rivalry, the kind of thing that they've been missing since San Francisco went down and Jim Harbaugh left. I think it was a spectacular game for a lot of reasons, and certainly plenty of drama, although not many points.
90 plays, as I said, is the second most. There's actually been 95 plays the Seahawks defense has faced. 1979 against the Rams in a regulation game, and in 1992 a game at home against Philadelphia that went overtime. 95 plays in each of those. Tonight, 90 plays in overtime. But the Seahawks are believed to face the most plays without giving up a touchdown in a game in NFL history. That is what Pete Carroll focused on after the game.
And rightfully so. You look at some of the guys. Cliff Averill has been having a spectacular season. His numbers don't always add up, to the pressures and the contributions that he makes. He had 2.5 sacks. He had a tackle for loss. He had 6 quarterback hits. He was spectacular tonight.
Defended 2 passes.
And had 2 pass defenses. But so was Bobby Wagner. So was KJ Wright. So was Michael Bennett. So were the 2 big guys, or actually all the big guys who rotated in at the 1 and 3 positions. Reed had a good game. McDaniel.
Kelsey McRae saving tackle.
Kelsey McRae had a game-saving tackle really at the end there. So it was a spectacular night for the defense, and the offense. Still, you have to wonder how far can they go when they can't block the best defenses.
And that's the big problem, is not only can they not block on the edges, now Bradley Sowell, the starting left tackle, is injured with a sprained medial collateral ligament. He was on crutches in the locker room after the game. Pete Carroll saying he doesn't know how serious the injury is yet. George Fan, an undrafted rookie former college basketball player, was left playing left tackle by the end of the game, and that didn't go too well either. Jamarcus Webb is there as a backup guard/tackle. He hasn't been practicing at tackle much lately, but he started his career with the Chicago Bears at left tackle. He could be the guy we see next week in New Orleans at left tackle.
Rookie Jermaine Ifedi, who we all had such high hopes for in the preseason, seems like he has slipped in the last couple of weeks. He got back. He has great potential. I don't know what's happening. It's not clicking for him right now. It seems maybe mentally he's not getting to the right person frequently, and it's caused a lot of problems.
Russell Wilson, he's not himself, obviously. I think I don't have to tell you that. But tonight his passing wasn't the way it had been earlier in the season. I think the Cardinals' defense had a lot to do with that, swarming the edges, blitzing up the middle, continually packing the box, daring the Seahawks to beat them deep. And it wasn't until a catch for 40-some yards by Jermaine Kearse on this sideline right over here in overtime that set up the chance to win the game with Hausker's missed kick. That's the first time they went deep and completed the entire night.
You know, Graham and Baldwin had a couple of timely catches as well, you know, so it was pretty. Some people did come on the offense, answer the bell a little bit when they really needed to, and then the kick.
The best news for the offense, I think, is next week they play the Saints, which might have the worst defense in the Western Hemisphere. They're 2-4. The Seahawks are 4-1-1. Still haven't lost in 5 weeks. It's hard to believe that after the way tonight went. But all in all, Dave, they're leaving the desert the way they arrived, a game and a half up.
It's not bad when, particularly you look around the league today. You know, the Vikings got beaten. They were the team that looked like they were kind of going to be the bully in the NFC. Maybe not. It doesn't seem like anybody else is pulling away from the Seahawks at this point. And you have to look at it this way. They played awful offense. Guys are banged up. They're having some issues with help. Jimmy Graham is trying to come back. There's a lot of guys who have been banged up. This is far from the best they can play. They've still got everything good ahead of them.
We'll be here all week, as always, in New Orleans a week from today. We'll let you digest everything you tried to watch tonight. Thanks for joining us.